It's not even credible.
Not by a long shot.
Hi guys, welcome back to the channel.
So today we're responding to a video called Watch a Vegetarian Eat Meat for the First Time in 22 Years from the channel the A.V Club.
So they take this woman, Stephanie Patakis, who is the casting director at The Onion, the A.V Club sister publication, and who is supposedly a vegetarian, to a steakhouse.
Now this video has gone viral in only a short period of time. It says a lot, you know, it's what people want to see, it's what they want to hear.
Oh yes, come back to the dark side.
Yeah. And it reminds us of a video that we responded to recently about a apparent vegan who opened a butcher shop. So these kind of videos are coming out more often these days. They're very popular.
Yeah. And as much as we get annoyed by these kinds of videos, it is a positive thing in that the only reason they're making these kinds of videos is because veganism is a trending topic. And so meat eaters and those who stand to lose money from people going vegan have to defend eating animal products.
Yeah, so it is a good sign. It's a sign that the movement is moving forward, that we're getting loud, that we're making a very important impact. So see the positive side to this. And of course, the other great thing is that these kind of videos give channels like ours an opportunity to come in and counter their BS.
Yeah, and we can speak the truth and we can show these people up for the deceiving and apathetic people that they are.
So do we believe that this woman was actually a vegetarian? No, absolutely not. Not at all. I think this was very staged, very fake. I think these people know how to make a viral video.
Absolutely. I mean, she's practically running into the restaurant, no hesitation whatsoever. She looks super eager at the table, no apprehension, which you clearly would have if you hadn't eaten meat for 22 years.
Yeah, and she doesn't even give any reasons for returning to eating meat. She doesn't say why she's doing this. This woman doesn't even try to act like a vegetarian of 22 years.
And how does someone who works in the media remain vegetarian for 22 years anyway?
Exactly, because if you're on social media, especially if you're vegetarian, then no doubt you've come across some information about, the brutality of the dairy and egg industry.
And once you know the truth, there's no need to continue to eat dairy and eggs.
So the first dish that she tries is a crispy chicken thigh. This is apparently the first meat that she's eaten in 22 years.
Yeah, and yet her reaction is a typical meat eater's response.
Yeah, she was like, oh yes, this is so good.
You know, and what this does is it reinforces the stereotype that if you're vegetarian or vegan, you must be missing out on something.
Interestingly, she says, that skin's real good. That's a weird thing to say.
Yeah, it is a weird thing to say. And it would be even weirder if it was the skin of a cat or a dog. I mean, would you eat the skin of a cat or a dog? Yeah. She says the flavors are just oozing out in every bite.
Which made us laugh because that's not the chicken flesh that's oozing in flavor. That's the flavoring, the seasonings, the juice, the marinade that's used to, dress up the taste of a dead body, basically.
She says that doesn't happen with vegetables, meaning that the flavors aren't oozing out in every bite. Well, if you use the same flavoring, seasonings, juice and marinade on veggies, yes it would.
And of course it just reinforces that horrible idea that if you don't have a diet that contains meat, it's so boring, you're only eating vegetables. And for someone who didn't eat meat for 22 years...
Exactly, you'd think she might have tried some plant-based substitutes in that time.
Because you can make those plant-based substitutes taste exactly the same as the chicken that she's currently eating.
The next thing she tries is bone marrow.
Yay! Let's get excited about sucking out bone marrow. I mean, that looks disgusting, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, she says, I've been dying to try bone marrow. Really? You're dying to eat the inside of an animal's bone? The irony is that the animal is the one who had to die for you to try this.
So she says that this is my new favourite meal. But if you notice all the plant seasonings that are left on the bone, that's what's tasting good. It's not the actual bone marrow.
So it becomes clear that she was never vegetarian. She certainly has no ethical connection. As she mockingly says, it's like, no, animals, you can't hurt them. And I'm like, I'm going to suck this out of your bone.
It's pretty disgusting. Like, there's just zero empathy for the victim here. And again, we were thinking, well, imagine if this was a dog's bone. Would you be so keen? Would you be mocking it? And would people find this video entertaining and laugh at it?
The last thing she does is compare two different types of beef, and of course it's an orgasmic experience.
Well, of course it is. But what's really interesting is that for someone who apparently hasn't eaten meat for 22 years is that there's no physical reaction. You know, she's just like stuffing it in, but
most
usually,
people would have some kind of physical reaction, be it nausea, or some people are even moved to vomiting.
Yeah, so it's not realistic in any sense.
Again, there's this total disregard for the life taken.
Yeah, she makes comments like, they should make this into a gum flavour because I would chew it all the time. And then she even starts singing, I'm gonna put it in my mouth, and says, you know, are you jealous? Because you should be, because it's so good.
Yeah, and all of this is so over the top for someone who hasn't eaten meat in 22 years. It's not even credible.
Not by a long shot.
And the mocking and playing down of what's really going on here is very disturbing. I mean, these animals have been raised for the sole purpose of being executed for the temporary pleasure of someone else's taste buds.
And this is the part of the video where you really know this woman is clearly talking shit. She says, this is like a whole different level of food that I was not aware existed out there.
Really? You didn't know that meat existed? Or you come from Planet Vegetarian and you've never seen the bombardment of advertising shoving meat in our faces? Really?
Because most people don't know what to do with quinoa and cabbage.
That's right.
But this special lady has never seen steak before.
Lucky her. She goes on to say, and I'm so excited to be a part of it now. This reinforces the idea that if you don't eat meat, you're not part of the mainstream. You're on the outer. You're not accepted and you're missing out.
Yeah, you're a freak, aren't you?
Yeah.
You know? And so this kind of video is made specifically, strategically for people that want to follow the mainstream, follow the herd, and not think critically and do what's right. They want to do what's popular.
That's right. And because people who make meat propaganda videos like this have no regard for the consequences of their message for human health, the lives of animals, or the environment, the vulgarness of this video really ramps up at the end when she says that if you see someone who can't finish their meat meal,
punch them in the face, knock them out, and take whatever they've left. And if they're not taking it home, fuck them. Lovely.
Wow.
So we're advocating violence over eating someone's dead body. That's what the world needs right now. It's a bit sick, isn't it?
And then, of course, she gives gratitude to the chef and says, I'm going to eat meat until the day I die. Well, you just significantly increase your chances of that happening a lot sooner rather than later, as well as those of anyone silly enough to actually agree with you.
So to sum up, what videos like this do is basically create a world like in that movie Idiocracy, where it's really just dumbed down. It's like base level. If it feels good, do it. If it tastes good, I'll do it. Oh, I'm eating a steak. Are you jealous? No, we're not jealous. It's absolutely pathetic. It's a really dangerous message, and it's just like, is that where we're at?
Yeah, I mean, is this the best we can do in 2016? We really have to evolve beyond the base response to temporary sensory pleasures.
Yeah, because people don't stop eating meat because it doesn't feel good anymore. It doesn't taste good anymore.
No, they stop eating animal products because they realise that their consequences are far-reaching, beyond their taste buds. Animals' lives are being taken here unnecessarily. Human health is being affected and is suffering, and as is the health of our environment.
So 22-year vegetarian eating meat?
We don't think so.
Absolutely not.
Not buying it.
But again, a good sign that veganism is on the rise, it's making an impact, and they have to respond with rubbish viral videos like this.
Exactly. So, leave your comments down below, guys. Let us know what you thought about the video and this video.
Yes, share it around. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already.
And remember until next time that going vegan is not the most we can do.
It's the least we can do. See you next video.
Bye, guys. And the tips we've given here on how to eat a gluten-free vegan diet would be the same tips that we would give to anyone who had an allergy to something other than gluten, for example, like soy and nuts, which are two common allergies.
Yeah, again, you're just taking those